How will the trapped soccer team get to safety? 12 boys and their soccer coach were finally found 9 days after going missing inside a northern Thailand cave. But the problem now is how to get them out. With most of the passageways inside Chiang Rai's complex Tham Luang cave system still underwater, there are 4 options to safely extract the trapped boys. Rescuers are pumping water out of the cave to create walkable conditions and have drained the first 1.5 kilometers. But the operation could be set back by heavy rains predicted in the coming days. Rising waters may force the team to dive to safety. They would don full scuba masks and suits and be helped by experienced divers and guide ropes during the 5-hour journey. Although this method is the fastest, it's also the most dangerous. The dive through narrow passageways under zero visibility conditions is risky even for seasoned divers. One rescue diver has already died after delivering supplies to the trapped team. A third option being considered is drilling into the cave from above and pulling the boys out, but this is the least feasible since it requires a thorough survey of the cave system to know where to drill. If all else fails, officials say the boys and their coach have enough food and water to last them through the 4-month wait for floodwaters to recede, at which point they could simply walk out. For now, rescuers are keeping an eye on the team and monitoring their condition. A fiber optic cable is also being fitted so the boys can talk to their worried parents. Oh no, how do I get out?
Man trapped in ATM gets withdrawn by cops. A Texas contractor found himself held captive by a cash machine and had to go old school to get out. The worker was changing the locks for the ATM vestibule when he was locked in because he left his swipe card in the truck. Poor fella also left his phone, so he couldn't call for help. But the ATM was working just fine, and what he did have was a pen and paper. He resorted to slipping notes through the receipt slot, begging people to please help. I'm stuck in here and I don't have my phone. Please call my boss. Unfortunately for him, everyone who got the note thought it was a bizarre joke, and the poor man was stuck for 2 hours until someone took it seriously enough to call the cops. Even the cops didn't think it was for real, even after they heard a little voice coming from the machine. Still, they eventually came to the man's rescue, kicking down the door to finally get him out. Now there's a man who's never been so happy to get away from a cash machine. Crazy!
5-year-old survives being trapped inside a running washing machine. It's unclear how exactly it happened, but a Texas girl managed to find herself trapped inside a Houston area laundromat for minutes on end on Tuesday. Details of the incident are few and far between, and police seem to even be unsure about how exactly the machine, which was set to high-speed spin, managed to turn on. The customer at the Pasadena laundromat luckily eventually noticed the unidentified 5-year-old, who was quickly airlifted to a nearby hospital.
Tennessee toddler gets stuck inside toy vending machine. Colin Lambert gave his family quite the scare after sneaking his way into a toy machine at a Maryville, Tennessee laundromat. The 18-month-old was with his grandmother, Diane O'Neill, on Tuesday, when she says he began to play with the door of a claw crane nearby. While Gran was momentarily distracted by a text message, Colin snuck his way into the arcade game and had to sit tight until firefighters arrived to free him. According to his family, the little tyke has quite the habit of finding his way into tiny spaces.
Kid leaks on elevator buttons and gets stuck. When some people, a kid from Chongqing in China in this case, use an elevator, they just have to be different. This little guy jumped on the elevator on February 23rd and then decided he would release some soy sauce from his little dragon. He one-ups himself, setting his sights high on the elevator control panels. After he was ready to get out, karma kicked in and the door malfunctioned, scaring the piss out of the kid. Well, maybe not piss. Tinkle Toes later had to be rescued by maintenance crews. The Yellow Rainer said he didn't do it, and his dad believes him. Unfortunately, the video exposes some leaks in the kid's story.
Faith in humanity restored. This poor kitten in China got trapped behind a glass wall without food and water and was slowly dying. But luckily, a good Samaritan came to the rescue. Earlier this month, the cat somehow became stuck behind the wall in a building in the southwestern city of Chengdu. After a period reported to be 3 days, a karaoke receptionist saw the kitten. He looked around but realized there were no gaps available for him to pull the little guy out. So the receptionist called the building's property management office to ask for help. Building staff knew the glass wall was built between aluminum door frames and a load-bearing wall, so they dug out a tunnel to rescue the kitten. After the successful rescue, the receptionist decided to take the tired and hungry cat home and adopt it. However, despite the good news, we're still wondering exactly how did the kitten get trapped in the first place, and why it took 3 days for anyone to notice. Let us know in the comments if you got any bright ideas about that.
Man gets head stuck in movie theater seat. A UK man passed away from a heart attack after getting stuck in a movie theater seat. A man and his partner were watching a movie at the View Cinema in Birmingham, England. The two paid more to sit in the gold class where the seats recline. At some point during the flick, the man dropped his cell phone on the floor. When he went to pick it up, an electronic footrest came down on his head and trapped him underneath. His partner and staff struggled to get him free. The leg rest eventually broke and he was able to get out. Unfortunately, the guy had a heart attack and passed away a week later. The movie theater said they were conducting an investigation into the freak accident.